I've gone into the last 2 days of the month, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a positive or a negative month. And I think that really opens up the playbook. It gives us a range of things that we can focus on. And you got those big highlight events. NVIDIA earnings. I know Tom's going to love to talk about NVIDIA earnings. Give me 1 second, Tom. But then GDP, PCE, Labor Day weekend, coming into that first week of September, where is that going to put us? And then what does September set up? It sets up October. And what does October set up? Well, there's this little thing called a general election that will be occurring in early November. And everything that you're seeing in the market right now is building towards that. And I, Tom, I'm so excited about this market because of everything that's going on. It's at that pivot. We use the word pivot a lot in our profession, but this is probably the most pivotal I have seen this market this year. Do you concur with that statement?
Yeah, I think that, it's so interesting, but like you said, Chuck, here we are 2 days prior to the end of the month. And if you remember, we had the big sell-off. We went down to 51.20. Then we rallied back and hit, we were what, 100 and so points higher coming into the week. And now we're right back at the monthly open, which, I've been telling people August is a month that typically, if you look back over the last 3 years, is down about 3 or 4%. But I was sitting there thinking to myself yesterday, how can that happen? Because you're looking at NVIDIA, you talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA opened a month at 117, but it's been as low as $90 a share. And as high as 132, 133. And I think that if you stand back and look at it, you got to say to yourself, it's a nervous Nelly type market, because I had a discussion with a guy today, and I said, look, you just got to be short term in this market, because it is changing very fast. And you think that you see a trend, and the next thing you know, you're looking at a market that starts selling off, and here you are, you down here testing the monthly open.
It's almost, we have the general election coming up, and it's almost as if the market is reading polls, and those polls shifting every day, right? Almost
Right.
like the politics, right? So it's sort of half of one, six of one, half a dozen of the other. It's really a toss-up market, and that provides excellent volatility. And I know on the options front, this is something that you really love to take advantage of.
Well, like you said, Chuck, you sure don't want to be on vacation next 2 days, because tomorrow you got GDP, you got PCE, you got a monthly close, and then you got the Labor Day holiday. So you've got a lot of what I would call a lot of opportunity. And, when I look at tonight's market, I'm sitting there looking at it and thinking to myself, okay, forget the fact NVIDIA was at 127 2 hours ago. Look at it from 117, because it's like starting fresh at 117. That's the number you got to use. Sort of like you advance back to the first of the month. So let me get into tonight's presentation, and we have we'll figure it out. We always do. And I think that when I look at the market like this today, I think, okay, the first day of the month is really tomorrow. That's the way I look at it. Okay. So hope everybody's doing great out there. We've had a lot of what I would call meetings and training, and our focus has been on education in the month of August. And, pretty exciting from everything that we do. So Chuck, thank you for being here, getting everybody sort of warmed up. Hope everybody's doing great out there, and I know that as I know there's an opportunity. But as a former Air Force officer, I always talk about this. I always think strategically and tactically, and this is a tactical market clearly today after the sell-off. I'm an active trader since the 70s, former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and author of 3 books. Worked with students since 1996, winning the day trading game, the markets never sleep, and trade to win. Now, there is risk in the market. You've got to have your process in place, and you take advantage of that step by step. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Now, at DTI, we help you master the markets through education, which we really believe in, training, and experience. YouTube channel is very popular. How many people here are on the YouTube channel? It's got some good training on there, doesn't it? I mean, when you stand back and look at it, it really is a challenge for you to get through all the great tapes. But I would tell you, over this 3-day holiday, spend your time watching some of these videos. Some really good stuff there. Really good stuff. Won't be a wait. We have customer service live every day from 10 to 1 to dtitrader.com. And in my opinion, no time for the weak at heart. This is a risk market, and there's opportunity here if you're willing to take risk in the market, in my opinion. If you look at the market, it's still very positive for the year. If you sit back and look at it, we now have August at a neutral. As Chuck pointed out, the NASDAQ has broken down 192.01. The Dow up about 8. DAX is up in Europe. Gold is still strong. Keep your eye on gold tonight. It'd be interesting to watch it, especially where it closed and what it's doing. Crude is up about 3.93%, and bonds are flat. Looking for bonds to start breaking higher, so keep your eye on bonds for a potential TLT move. 10 tickers. NVIDIA, definitely below 130. Apple, if you look at Apple right now, it's 225. Berkshire has been the big star of the month. If you're in TNT, I've been talking about Berkshire as the Magic 5 just about every day. Gold, 233. If I look at gold right now, we're about 231. XLE, 92.55. I'd look for that to be tested in the next week or so. I think you're going to see higher prices. XLK is down. Google. Let's look at Google real quick. Google here is, I got 160.40 on support. Keep your eye on Google tomorrow. Costco. Costco is a very interesting market. I'm going to show people a trade tomorrow on Costco. QQQ above 487 bullish, below 472. If you look at QQQ, we're approaching that area and should create a opportunity as we're below it quite a bit, about 8 points. Now, we got the election around the corner. There's a lot of opportunity as we march into the end of the year. Now, profits and performance shown are not typical to any one individual subscriber. We make no future earnings claims. Hey, you may lose money. That's trading. Most of the trades expressed are from historical data in order to demonstrate the potential of what we do. From March 28th, 24 to August 16th, live trade alerts. This is impressive. We've had 33 wins and 15 losses. The average trade return, winners and losers combined, was 10.27%. We cannot guarantee any future results, as there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. See our terms on the DTI homepage. Now, in trading, there will be losers. There's no black box miracle system out there that prints winning trades automatically. The whole purpose of our research is to work with you and give you an edge in the markets. Remember, if you can't handle a losing trade, you really shouldn't be trading real money. Use that time to educate yourself. Again, losses in trade have occurred and will occur in the future. Now, take a good look at that quarter. You talk about squeezing a quarter. That's what we do because it might just be the most powerful trading tool in the entire market. You see what most folks are paying high price for options on popular stocks like Apple, Nvidia, or Microsoft. We tap in to one of the most inexpensive options on the market. Trades that cost a maximum of around 25 cents. And by entering on certain predetermined dates, we've been able to watch these 25-cent trades double, even triple. Now, like a double like we had in November, 104%, 182% in January, 214. Now, I've been around a while. While I'm confident, I try not to be cocky. In 1992, I was one of the few people in the world that had one of the licenses out of Chicago, handpicked by the CME to receive my own Globex terminal. This was the front runner to electronic trade. So sometimes you want to, hey, Tom, how do you know this or know that? Folks, I was very privileged to have a Globex terminal, the forerunner to electronic trading. Part of a firm, management team that eventually was bought out by 1.3 trillion institution Morgan Stanley. And while I kept the finer details of the 25-cent trade as I was testing it, and I shared a few of these 25-cent trades with some of my top students of the last few weeks. Here's what they had to say. Oh, John, I love the 25-cent trades. Why does he love it? He loves it because he can now play like Mr. Big. Or Jim made 4 times his money on one of these 25-cent trades. 5X by Carlos. Now, hang tight for a moment because this opportunity with the 25-cent trade is right around the corner because we're not talking about trading penny stocks, not talking about risky earnings. We're not talking about trading complex spreads. It's very simple, straightforward. As a matter of fact, each and every trade example we share with you today could have been taken from any regular brokerage account. You trade the most basic form of an option, call options, or if the market's going down, you can use put options. Now, as long as the 25-cent trade is set the day before these predetermined dates, that's where the magic happens. And here it is, folks. You see, for the longest time, I stayed away from these options. That's because these type of speculative options typically lose money for investors on an accuracy basis, on a risk-reward basis. However, we have an edge. But thanks to that recent discovery, with the help of everybody around me, my whole perspective shifted 180 degrees. I'm open-minded when I see things that tend to go against the grain. These 25-cent options on a very specific predetermined date, this is what's so incredible. By using what I do here, we're going to hit 78.3%. Like last January, S&P was out of the bear market, roaring higher. Market took off in January. You know, what would come next? Anybody's guess. But on January 10th, none of that mattered, did it? Because on January 10th, a predetermined date on our calendar, you took 30 seconds to put the trade on, simple buy call option, pay that low price for it before the market's closed, a basic call option, 194% gain. As great as that is, it gets even better. The very next day was marked on the calendar too, January 11th, a 23-cent trade on this one. Here's what came next, 264% gain. Now, that could be enough to triple investment on that one trade that would have cost you a whole bunch. Let's say someone started with a small $500 investment in each of these trades. Well, after a handful of days, anyone could have cashed out with a $2,293 in profit. You know, this is what's going to happen if you listen. We're going to have these type opportunities as soon as the market opens tomorrow because of what happened with the reversal. That might sound like a life change in sum of cash. That's definitely no chump change either. Not when expenses are around $63.98 a month. You'd be setting with a whopping $7,800 each month by following and doing the inexpensive 25-cent options. While other people are falling backwards, you're going forward. Look at these gains, 194, 264. That's real trades, folks, looking at stuff like this. That's the value of it. And the $2,293 profit could come only after taking 2 of these trades that month. Here's what happened in January. Look at that. You do get hit, but all you do is sit there. Each of these are figured with a $1,000 outlay of risk. 4-digit wins in January, predetermined dates. Finer details on how they work in a moment. We have the dates. Did I have to tell you? Tomorrow is one of those dates, and the next day is one of those dates. It's a double-barreled approach over the next 2 days. And I've also put a different twist on it now, where a bonus setup happens less than 25 cents. Before I get there, let me be frank. I'm typically not a swing for the fence type of trader. That's because, as you know, I've showed you all traders will have winners and losers, and typically even the best swing for the fences strategies out there take the biggest, most frequent losses. You saw 78%. Most people would say 78% accuracy. Let me have some of that stuff. And then don't take big risks at the same time. High accuracy, day and out is my bread and butter. A lot of students here have watched me do it. There's various research programs do it. Here are some of the best stories. Like Manning had 5 wins, 135% return on his investment. I am very patient, and I take my time teaching people just how valuable it is to do that. Laura is a great trader. She's one of our students. $2,200 on 9 trades. That adds up, folks. Now, Denise said, don't think she's had winning trades with me, but there'll be those losses in there. She learns. That's the key. She learns every time. Shooting for 10, 20% profits over and over again with an incredibly high win rate has been my bread and butter. But today, we're going in a different area. We're going for a different style. And the safety of the way I do it, the time that I do it, that's what you got to learn. While at the same time, give you the unlimited upside of some of these short-term moves. The combination of win rate plus upside has shown the power to scale a small account a lot quicker than usual. You know, I mentioned earlier before I started about the market going down to 51.20. Y'all remember me talking about that? We had a position on that I talked about on that Friday before that big down Monday, where one of these 25-cent options went all the way to $4 on that Monday. You got to have some of that. That erases a lot of sins. And simply by following along you put yourself in that possibility. The 25-cent trades double, even triple, sometimes fast. And like the next 25-cent trade we did in January, people were probably searching the internet to see what was happening next, like they're doing tonight. The setup's the same. Anyone with the hands on this calendar would have ignored all that nonsense, glance at January 17th as a predetermined date. I can tell you right now, tomorrow is a predetermined date. Click a few buttons in the account, set the trade, 101.8% gain. Now, pay attention and take notes. Check your calendar. Place the trade. Let it work for you. Ignore what everybody else is talking about because we're playing the numbers, and do it. Then maybe walk away to spend some time maybe with the grandkids or go golfing in the evening. And if everything worked out, watch his initial investment more than doubled in 24 hours. In this case, $2,500 in the one could have turned into $5,000. Now, I keep talking about these predetermined dates and how they can give you exact minute to minute, in and out, double, even triple. Well, that's definitely what we're aiming for. Remind folks that we don't have a magic 8 ball. I can't predict the future, but I set ourselves up for recovery anytime I go into the market. Just like with any strategy, it's going to be winners, it's going to be losers. So never bet the farm on any one setup. I say use level bets. And that said, that's the reason I tell the students about these small price options on these specific days. This is what got my attention. Pay attention. Take a look at that graph. That graph looks at the movement percentage-wise. Notice how most of those movements occur 7 to 10 days. Over the past 10 years, when you look at the S&P percentage movement, each individual dot represents a single day. Between those lines is the number of days where the S&P moved less than 1%. But outside those two lines is where you get your movement. That's what we're playing for in this program. These are days when the S&P moves 1% or more. As you can see from a quick look, the stock market is flat about 70% of the time. That's why I like to sell options. However, when you get one of these predetermined dates, get up on your toes, folks. Might be time to run. And that's because most of the time in the S&P, there's not a ton of market moving action, 7 out of 10 days. That means every 7 out of 10 trading days in the market, it's stagnant. If you're playing for big moves, in general, you're not going to get it. The options die off, they eat up time decay, and you're paying for it. It's no surprise that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange reported that 76% of options expire worthless. That's why if you've been trading investing for a while now and struggle to make profits because you watch markets go higher and higher while your retirement account barely budged, probably not because you were a bad trader, simply not smart enough. Problem is, the majority of the time, the stock market barely moves. And that's what crushes most trading accounts referring to option accounts. However, if we're able to isolate and play these big moves on these days out of 10 that really move, there's a lot of money here. And as you will see, these dates when some of the biggest moves in the stock market are not random. They're tied in to reports. And by the way, one of those reports is tomorrow morning, GDP. In fact, they're all predetermined weeks in advance on a calendar like that one. And it's on these predetermined dates, that's where you see these small price options really move. Sometimes triple, sometimes overnight. Like in February, the biggest payday we've seen so far from the 25-cent trade. Now keep in mind that February, things were looking great, sort of like tonight. That's because for months, Wall Street has been baking in higher interest rates. Fed had other plans. Now, typically that news would make you want to sell your stocks. But anyone who had the calendar, just like instead of February 21st, it's tomorrow. And because sure enough, the very next day, a 391% gain. The opportunity's here. The door's there. I'll show you how to enter. I'll show you how to exit. Now, again, that's the biggest one we've seen so far from our study, and remind you, no strategy's perfect. Going to be some big wins, small wins, and losers along the way. That's just how it works. But today, I'm not going to hold anything back. I'll share with you every detail behind the complete back test we ran. I have no doubt you'll be impressed with what we've done, how we've executed it, and why everybody that's in the small price option program loves it. Because thanks to that monumental shift on Wall Street, where options that have activity, liquidity, and have expiration dates open every day of the week are the options you want to play. Let me share exactly what I'm doing to prepare for it. But first, let me explain what's really going on. You see, every month there's a handful of these key published reports by the U.S. government that will move the markets. There's actually 5 of them. Unemployment, first of the month, CPI, PPI, middle of the month, GDP tomorrow, PCE on Friday. Now, these reports are typically published in the morning, way before the market opens, before the opening bell. They have the power to change the trend. And as I'll show you, they've set up the most lucrative trading days we've seen all year long. So if I place it at 25-cent trade before the markets report and hit the press, sometimes they triple, even blink in the course of an eye. Now take a look at the next 25-cent trade. Notice 28. That must have been a GDP report. Someone took the trade at 21 cents. Next morning at 8:30, before the stock market was opening for a day, jobless claims report was published. Off we went. Opening bell rang. S&P shot up. Everybody goes, whoa, what happened? Now, anyone who invested $5,000 in shares of the S&P would have made a nice $150. But if you had took our approach, the 25-cent trade with the same starting state, you could have seen 2,381 overnight. That's around 16x better than buying shares outright and only 1/20th of the cost per position. Now, based on what our beta testers have said, it doesn't seem challenging at all to take it. Strictly buy call, buy put. Tina and Peggy really liking, they loving because they're easy to get in and out of. They say they're usually profitable. These are new traders. Or Tim, he likes the low risk involved and the high profitability that comes from it, and they're easy to understand when you tie into these reports. Now, let me show you an example. The exact same case on March the 6th. There'd been an unemployment report. On March 6th, folks didn't have much confidence in the stock market at the time. NASDAQ was losing steam, falling north of 1% on the day. A lot of folks probably stayed out. But we're not like most people. We use numbers and we do setups. And anyone to do is set the 25-cent trade before the market's closed on March the 6th. Government report comes out just like it is tomorrow morning. Maybe you grab dinner with an old friend or a relative. And by the time the opening bell rang, you're ready, rocking and rolling. 134. You got to love these 25-cent trades. You got to love it. Now, in fact, they're so powerful that they make up almost all the opportunity in the stock market. Go back to 7 out of 10 days, market doesn't move. We're playing for those 3 days when it moves, tied into these reports with the right ticker, right expiration date. Now, how many of you, before I go any further, can buy a call option at 25 cents if you had the confidence to know that it was the right time to do it and the right expiration date to drive it home? How many could do that? Just say yes. Tell me you can do it. I'm saying a lot of yeses in here. So very simple. Most people know that S&P's in a new bull market, extremely hot run this year. Most people don't realize that if you highlight the major economic reports, when are the major? Okay, stop. When is the major economic report coming out? Tomorrow morning. Jim says, I can because you taught me exactly how to do it. Thanks, Jim. Take that out. Here's what the market looks like. That market is totally dismantled. The unstoppable bull market, if you take out the reports, it's straight across. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Trading outside those predetermined dates for this style of trading is a loser's game. We're not going to do that. If you fast track to losing money in trading options by buying calls or buying puts, if you're not trading when they're paying, isolate those explosive dates. We've done it. Tomorrow's one of those dates. That's where the real money is made. And that's why I developed this special calendar to give you notice when these trades are going to happen during the month. Instruction how to set the trades for optimal results. You got your calendar there. You can plan your day. Be one of the first to be part of it as we've done this over and over again. Take the quick trade on the date shown, just like what happened on the major reports on July 26th. Look at that, 152%. Anybody here could use a 152% gain buying a 25-cent option tomorrow? Let me just ask that question. All of us could, right? We'll be there. Or 334% by buying a 25-cent option tomorrow? All of us could. That small stake would have grown to $10,867.50 in 24 hours. Now, it's definitely a way to buffer what else is going on. Maybe paying off a car loan, planning your next vacation, or just saving for that rainy day. We're going to teach you, we're going to show you by taking you to these field of dreams and these options and show you which ones to buy, which ones to enter, and which ones to exit. Now, the actual power is those predetermined dates open my eyes. No way to play this market any other way except on these reports with call options or put options. Now, can you pick any option on these dates when they pop up? Of course not. You got to learn the technique. You got to learn the right symbol to use. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. We developed a very strict set of criteria to give you edge in these market moving days. I will filter out all the key information. We talked a little bit about it tonight on that monthly open, didn't we? We sort out through which one's the best payer, right around that 25 cents, right around the right expiration, set the trade, outline the profit targets, and when to get out. Might sound like a lot, but it's pretty straightforward once I show you how it works. We do all the setups, we set it up, we tee it up on a platter for you and tell you this is the trade we take. Following along the trade is no more difficult than you put an order in and taking an order out. Using a basic call option or basic put option fits any type account you got, 401k, IRAs if you like it. And we're going to have some fun together as we have so far, as we go further and further. As closer we get to the selection, we'll take even bigger moves. I can't wait. That starts. Now, we've outperformed the testing doing it. Now, 25 cents, here it is. Four times your money right here. David, quick, clean rewards. Credible stories, and I'd like to hear from you to join. You see, it's a giant shift on Wall Street that I firmly believe will make these opportunities even more lucrative. And you can't really afford to miss out this time. Let me tell you what I'm exactly talking about. Now, if you'd like to be in on the next one, as early as tomorrow, plus access your copy to password protected, all of the dates listed, then I need to hear from you right now if you're interested. Be part of our group each and every week as we find these small options. Call it the 25-cent trader. Mark, have a little patience. I'll get there, friend. 25-cent trader. This is the only place in the world I know that leverages these 25-cent trades on these predetermined dates, shooting for next double or even triple. Once you claim the discounted rates, these same economic events that I've been highlighting all day long, the same trades I'd recommend to you. Inside the alert, you see everything I believe you need to place the trade. The date, the ticker, the analysis, plus the 25-cent option criteria. You got to be there to be part of it. Just like the trade example from January 31st of this year, 4,500 on that one, small price, and the exit alert as well as the time to close out the way that you're there. And to make sure you always get instant access to the signals, these alerts come out via email, cell phone, and telegram. Where you're at the beach with friends, out on the range, one of my trading expos, you never have to miss out. And then you're all set. It brings me to the next piece of membership. You see, this system was designed with very specific entry prices, stop losses, and profit targets. That way, we're always shooting for optimal gains while avoiding big losses. So that's really a big benefit. Automatic exit plan tells you how to do it, close it out once we hit our goal, and even include on how to protect against the downside, which you're going to have downside in trade. But not just that. I know some of you are newer to trade, may never traded options before. And rest assured, the 25-cent trader will use the most basic form of options. Straightforward. That said, the special trading that will teach you options all the way from the rookie level to the pro level. We give you a course called Options Made Simple and the in-depth trade, in-depth. Since the 2020 pandemic, these press reports. So let's stop here and think about it. Here's what you should take away so far. I got a lot more to go, so you got to be patient. 5 reports that come out every month. Do you have the dates of those reports? Unemployment, CPI, PPI, GDP, which is tomorrow, and PCE. Write those reports down. You always have to know the dates of those reports. The next step is finding these small price options to take advantage. These predetermined dates have only gotten more powerful as time goes on, and Wall Street's got it figured out. And that's why we're seeing them leverage short-dated options like no time in history. Now, most folks have no clue how to use these highly leveraged options. I'll show you how it works. We'll show you how to train, be ready to go. Especially folks have always said, who's made a 25-cent trade? I'm going to stop right now. You know that when we do these 25-cent trades, you've seen what we've done. Type in here if you ever made one of these trades with me. Because if you do that, okay, it's a way for you to learn and make money. Karen says she loves them. They're awesome. Rhonda said it's small account friendly. Bruce says less than 24 hours. Greg says these trades just plainly work. That's about as simple as say it. Now, every one of them doesn't work, does it, Greg? Huh? Every one of them doesn't work. Fred, who's one of our senior students now, says they're being great. So why are they doing well? Because they listen. They understand when trading, you're going to have wins and losses. And if you get hung up on that, you're never going to make money. And that's not what we're here. We're here to show you a strategy to take advantage of the 25-cent trade. Sue put it better. Fun to do it. Rochelle says, I joined as a VIP. Now, the 25-cent trades are so good, We could charge anything we wanted to. And tonight, get part of it. We will trade this tomorrow. Introducing the twist. Y'all ready for the twist? Not only was I really successful with the 25 cents, I said, let's do it. Find time for a dime. Now, think about that. Instead of putting 25 cents out there, I put find time for a dime. If that doesn't get you excited and you can't open your eyes to the opportunity, then you're missing out. It's almost like those 25-cent offers are so expensive, aren't they? After you take a trip on the Find Time for a Dime rodeo. Been good so far. I think our last 11 in a row. I think maybe we had one loser, who knows? But it's been a hot streak going on. 35% in 2 days, 122% the same day. Now, Find Time for a Dime, I could charge as a separate service. I didn't do that, did I? I included it in the 25-cent trade. Now, the 25-cent trades are free for elite members who join tonight. The elite members, if you join, will get Find Time for a Dime. The elite package can run as high as we want to put a price on it. We didn't do that. We can really charge twice as much when you look at it. Cut it in half, $34.97. But hang tight. If you're about to hear something really good. It's about getting better. We got 3 separate bonuses lined up for early access tonight. The elite member discount, that's bonus number 1. Elite discount, anyone who takes action in the next few minutes, right here in this room. Knock 1,000 off of that. We're getting lower. So if you ask me, 1 year is a pretty good thing for a heck of a deal. $24.97 for over 52 trades is a steal. Adam, put the link in there because we got to limit this. Now, if you're one of our elite members here tonight, it won't run you $24.97. Before I get there, here we go. 10x value guarantee. Can't beat this. We basically say, try it. If you don't believe it works, try it. Get in there and try it. We'll give you your money back. Follow along. If after your first year you decide the gains ain't up to par, the education isn't what you thought it would be, guess what? If you don't get 10x times your value, keep the trading calendar and we move on. That's how confident I am that you ought to be in this program. And the final bonus, hit the ground running fast you ever could imagine. First 50 trades are on us. In order to get you on the feed, starting a lap ahead of everybody else, the 50 trades are on me. Take that off. Goodness gracious. $1,247 first year deal. We never offered this. Here it is. $1,247 for 1 year to see how it works. Only good if you jump in and take advantage of it tonight. I don't think I'm offering it again. There it is. If you wait too long, you'll be waiting on the outside looking in. Now, if you read the emails about the results we've had so far, you talk to our members, they're typing in here how great it is. Don't procrastinate. We don't procrastinate if you're going to be a trader. Take one of the memberships for yourself. Go to dtitrader.com/25cents or call 904-416-1776 and press 1. Or simply click the link in the chat. $1,247 first year deal right here tonight. Call 904-416-1776. It's here. We're going to do it tomorrow. Pretty outstanding. There's a trade I did in a simple day. I'm going to do this trade tomorrow just to show you it can be done. For me, personally, that was worth $11.66 overnight. The reports tomorrow, the reports the next day, a double bang of reports. You have an opportunity to jump in on the next this very week. Don't miss a new trade this week. Go to dtitrader.com/25cents. Once you join, I want to warn you, don't close the next page. Then you get an upsell opportunity. Take advantage of it lock it in for life like everybody else has. For $1,000 more, less than the price, you'll lock in unlimited access to the 25-cent trader alerts. Just like everybody's part of it. You make up some lost grounds with this one. Forex. These are the greatest trades for my small account ever, Patrick said. Brian likes it. Great risk reward. A lot of stories like this. Go ahead and upgrade it to the VIP right now. Special surprise if you get joined tonight. I call it all day. Pretty cool. 25-cent trade now includes find time for a dime. Let me explain. Let me answer some common questions. How much money do you need? All the trades costs are right around 25 cents. But however, I'm focusing on the find time for a dime now. So 10 cents. Will every trade be a winner? Of course not. No strategy wins 100% of the time. Should you be worried about more downside in the market? No, that's the beauty of it. We're holding positions, we take it. Trade in IRAs, 401ks, wherever you want to trade. That information will happen tomorrow morning. Be part of it. All the predetermined dates come tonight. You'll have your calendar laid out. Don't miss the new trade this week, tomorrow. Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents. Now, I'm opening it up for questions right now. Type in your questions. I want to talk about NVIDIA, and I want to talk about the election once I answer questions on this program. Adam, did we put a limit on how many we're going to accept on this tonight? Or just while I'm live, they're getting this price? Okay. Let's talk a little bit about NVIDIA. NVIDIA stock went down in after hours. Did you notice that I had a hedge on NVIDIA, Fred? Did you notice that? I bought a put on NVIDIA to offset the upside move. Did you notice that? Did you notice that I spaced out my expiration dates? Did you notice that? So I used the same strategy I used in our very popular power program. That's the way I played NVIDIA. And I'll play NVIDIA tomorrow also. Any other questions about NVIDIA? It's at the monthly open. It's August 1st on NVIDIA tomorrow. Does everybody here know how high NVIDIA's been this month? About 133. Everybody know how low NVIDIA's been this month? About 90. We're right at the monthly open. We have a great opportunity to market. That's the group. That is great about NVIDIA. Now you want to talk about the election. How many people's heard me say that after Labor Day, the election will start playing into the market? I've been telling you all month if you hadn't heard me say that. Jody, the NVIDIA put expires not this Friday, but next. Not this Friday, but next. So, any other questions about NVIDIA? Any other questions about the election? And especially any other questions? Oh, absolutely. Stephen says, do I have a plan? Stephen, how long you been with me? How long you been with me? Steven says, long enough to know you always have a plan. Hey, and this is what gets me about people that trade. Okay. Number one, I always tell people don't focus on one trade, focus on one of the next 10,000. Okay. You never know which one is going to run. You don't know that tonight because they're closed. A lot can happen between the night and tomorrow morning with this report. Yeah, I mentioned that, William. Great question. My answer is everybody that joins will be with me in the morning at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. I should have told you that. Folks, since we've been using the 25-cent trader, that's the lowest price for the first year deal we started with. That way you trade it for a year. Okay. I'm planning to be with everybody tomorrow from 10 o'clock. I think I got like an hour and a half of live with you, Jim. I'll be covering a lot of stuff during that hour. Dennis says, any insight who will win this election? Dennis, will you ask me that question after next week? Because the numbers next week are numbers we can judge by. I'll be glad to tell you what I think. I'll tell you where I go to get that information. Oh, yeah. Thanks for asking that. We have a special Telegram channel for the 25-cent trader. Special channel for that. Any other questions you have? William says, I'm really excited about joining this program. Everything else I have with you is more than paid for itself 8 to 10 times over. You're the best. William, you made my night. I hope I had the copies and shows everybody that one. Whoa. Yeah, I got NVIDIA. I'm pretty heavy in NVIDIA. Pretty heavy. Dennis, reason Labor Day, traditionally after Labor Day, people start paying attention to the elections. I think we have been with me long enough to know we don't win every one of them, do we? But we win the majority of them because we follow the process. Did I get everybody's question answered that they might have had? I open it up to any question you have. I told you about NVIDIA. Old phone says he's exceeded his goal. I want to make sure I get your questions answered. NVIDIA put. I think it's the 20th of the month is the one I'm talking about, Mike. I think it's the 20th. It might be one on the 30th also. I play it both ways. And I got bonus trades too. William, you might not need it. Check with me in the morning on the live market, okay? Might be time to take profit on the put, stay long the calls. You understand what I'm saying? Depends on where we are after the report. Yeah, I think we had like 120 exposed to the long side, and we had let me think, 120 to the long side, and we had $45 to the downside. Yeah, I'm gonna be live tomorrow, Emmanuel. That's what I'm planning on doing, starting at 10. All right, let me give you a little update on the market. It went down to a low of 61. Actually went to 114 at one time, Mike. It went down to 61 on tonight's after as we started. It's back up. And in fact, if it takes out, let me give you the number. If it takes out 87, then it turns bullish. And the opening price tonight is 55.80, and we're at 83. So it's trying to be positive. It might take some time. Hey, thanks for the love letter, Emmanuel. Any other questions? I want to answer anybody's questions they have. I had to open the door on this offer because this program is very powerful, but I want to get anybody's question they might have about the market. I'd be glad to answer them, How many people enjoyed the training I did this week, education? Did you learn something that you can use on highly volatile stocks? I think you should have. Always leave a back door for you if you're private. Teeny, I would lose right now. I'll give you one in the morning, but the pivot number to start out tonight with is 5680 or 5580, right in front of the opening. Okay. All right. Well, it's been a long day, and I'm ready to go at it tomorrow. So be there with me in the morning. I'll kick off in the morning with TNT, and then we'll roll into this live trade at 10. Be focused, get a good night's sleep. One of the next 10,000 trades you're going to make, but you got to be there to participate. Get joined to the program. See you on the flip side. See you in the morning.